They told me to sit in the back, no seat reserved, no greeting, no acknowledgement, just a vague wave toward the gallery and an eye roll from my wife's brother. "Hope he knows not to speak," he whispered. The courtroom was cold, too clean. Silence thinned the air like a blade. They sat 3 rows ahead, her family, tight-lipped, designer grief, whispers, smirks, some rehearsed tears. They'd told everyone I was a failure, a man who married up, then latched on, a man who knew nothing about their world. Glorified office clerk, her uncle once called me. Background noise, her sister had laughed, drunk, not knowing I was still in the room. I hadn't spoken to any of them in months, until today. The judge cleared her throat, then looked at me, straight at me. "Would you please take over?" she asked, voice calm but strained. "I'm not qualified to handle this federal case." Every head turned. Her family's faces shifted, and for the first time in years, they were silent. They never asked what I did for a living, never cared. It was easier for them to imagine I did nothing. Some legal assistant, some paper mover. That's what they told people at parties. Talia, my wife, didn't correct them. She said it kept things easier, so I let it happen, let them believe I was small. But I remember the dinner. The one where her sister, Claire, slid her phone across the table and smirked. "Bet you've never seen numbers like that, huh? Stock options, her tech firm, IPO gossip, vanity metrics masked as brilliance." Talia laughed. I didn't, because the name of that firm had appeared in an internal memo just days earlier, red flagged, under federal audit, buried deep. And Claire was listed. I didn't mention it, didn't flinch, but I started watching, quietly, from the shadows they were so sure I belonged to. It started with patterns. Claire's company had misplaced investor funds, small numbers, spread out, too neat, too clean, but not invisible. I pulled records, accessed wire trails, built timelines, something our team had already been investigating, just not at her level. Until now. She used her fiancé's login, sloppy. Bought property in his mother's name, sloppier. She even logged into the staging server from their vacation home, didn't bother hiding her IP. The deeper I looked, the louder the trail screamed. And the irony? She was the one always mocking me for staring at numbers all day. So I stared harder. Talia noticed, asked why I was so quiet lately. I said, "Work's been interesting." She smiled, not understanding, still assuming I'd be sitting in the back row when it all came crashing down. The indictment was prepared weeks ago, but I waited for the trial to start, for the room to fill, for her father to straighten his tie, and her mother to sigh dramatically for sympathy. I let them stack the lies high, publicly, let them throw their final stones. And then the judge called for a recess. I stood, approached, handed her the sealed folder. "Updated federal filing," I said. She opened it, read, eyes narrowed, turned to the court, then to me. "You're the federal prosecutor assigned to this?" "Yes." "Can you take over?" "I already have." I turned, faced her family. Claire's face drained first, Talia's second. Her mother's hand gripped her pearls like prayer would work this time. And I said nothing, just walked back to the front, where I belonged. After court adjourned, they followed me into the hallway, all of them, Claire shouting first, her father stepping forward like a man still clinging to authority that didn't exist here. "You ambushed her," he said. "You embarrassed this family." I turned slowly. "Correct. I'm not part of your family," I said. Talia tried a different approach, softer, calculated. "You should have told me," she said. "I did," I replied. "When?" "Every time I came home exhausted. Every time I told you I was buried in fraud reports. Every time I said someone was going down." She paled. "It was always her," I said. "You just didn't listen." Claire lunged. Security intervened. I stayed calm. I always stay calm. Talia looked like she wanted to say something more, but I was already walking away. A week later, Talia left a message. Just one line. I never really knew you, did I? I didn't respond. She was right. She never knew, because she never cared to ask. They wanted a silent man, a background blur, a convenient void to absorb their noise. What they got was someone who listens, remembers, builds cases with patience, and waits for the silence to hit them back harder than the noise ever did. They buried me in the shadows, not knowing I was the one holding the match.